What if everything you've been told about manifestation is upside down? What if the real power to shape your reality isn't locked in a vision board, a journal, or some cosmic waiting room, but in your next breath? Not metaphorically, literally, one inhale, one exhale. That's all it takes to begin bending reality in your favor. You see, there's a secret they never told you, because most people don't know it. You've been taught to use the mind to manifest, but your mind is just the signal, the breath. That's the frequency carrier. It's the dial that tunes your entire field into alignment with what already exists. In this video, we're not going to play with fluff or vague affirmations. We're diving straight into the quantum mechanics of creation, the hidden role of your nervous system, the sacred codes embedded in ancient breath rituals, and how one simple breath, done right, can snap you into a parallel version of yourself instantly. So before you chase another dream, pause, breathe, and watch what happens. They've told you to think positively. Visualize it. Repeat your affirmations 1,000 times, and maybe, just maybe, the universe will hear you. But the truth, most people feel more frustrated than fulfilled. That's because we've been taught to manifest from the mind, while ignoring the body, the breath, and the electromagnetic field we're steeped in. It's like trying to tune into a radio station using a broken antenna. No matter how hard you try, the signal doesn't come through. The problem isn't that you're not manifesting, you are, every second of every day. But without understanding the role of vibration, your energy sends mixed signals into the quantum field. Thought alone isn't enough. It's not the image in your mind that creates your reality. It's the feeling behind it. And feeling is not thought. Feeling is breath, chemistry, rhythm, frequency. Without the right vibrational state, your intentions are just static noise. Traditional advice often places you in a state of chasing rather than receiving. You're taught to desire harder, try harder, think harder, never realizing that the more you chase, the more you're energetically affirming that you don't have it. It's a loop of lack disguised as ambition. But when you come back to the breath, everything changes. The breath teaches you to be, not to chase. It brings you into coherence. It tells your nervous system, we already have it. And that is when reality listens. Long before vision boards and affirmations became the craze, the ancients knew something far simpler and far more powerful. They knew the breath wasn't just for survival, it was a bridge, a portal, the literal interface between spirit and matter. From yogic pranayama to shamanic breath rituals, breath was the technology through which reality was shaped. And somehow, we forgot. Breath is energy in motion. Prana, chi, life force. When you breathe consciously, you're not just taking in air, you're commanding frequency. You are aligning your internal world with the vibration of your desires. And in the quantum world, like attracts like, it's not magic, it's resonance. Every inhale aligns you with a possibility, every exhale releases resistance. In that rhythmic loop, your reality begins to reassemble itself. But in the modern world, we've divorced breath from intention. We breathe shallow, unconscious, stress-filled gulps, telling our body we're in danger, telling our reality we're not ready. This disconnection keeps our manifestations stuck in limbo. Rediscovering breath as a conscious tool isn't about learning something new. It's about remembering what your ancestors lived by. Breath isn't a side note in manifestation. It's the missing link. Every breath you take isn't just moving oxygen, it's moving information. In the quantum view, air is not empty. It's alive with vibrating particles, constantly responding to your internal state. And when you breathe with awareness, you're not just nourishing your cells, you're tuning your frequency to interface with the energetic matrix of reality. Quantum physics shows us that everything is energy, vibrating at specific frequencies. That includes thoughts, emotions, and yes, even your breath. When breath is shallow or erratic, your frequency scatters, but when it's rhythmic and intentional, it becomes a signal, clean, coherent, and powerful enough to influence the field around you. You become not just a receiver of reality, but a transmitter of it. Dr. Joe Dispenza speaks of this as entering the quantum field, a space where all possibilities exist simultaneously. The breath becomes your access point. Your body shifts from beta wave chaos to alpha theta flow. The heart synchronizes with the brain, and suddenly your breath is no longer just physiological, it becomes cosmic code, informing the unified field what version of reality you're ready to experience. The nervous system is like the gatekeeper of your reality. It decides what you're a match for, not based on your goals, but on your state of safety. If your body is locked in fight or flight, it doesn't care about your dreams. It only wants survival. And so, your manifestations stall. Not because the universe is slow, but because your biology is saying, not yet. Chronic stress, anxiety, overthinking. All of these send signals through the nervous system that say, the world is dangerous. I'm not ready to receive. This triggers a frequency of resistance, keeping your intentions in energetic quarantine. You may be saying affirmations with your mouth, but your body is screaming, no. And the quantum field listens more to the body's frequency than to the mind's chatter. But here's the miracle. Breath is the key to reprogramming the nervous system. With each slow, deep inhale, you tell your vagus nerve to relax. You shift from sympathetic chaos to parasympathetic calm. And in that state of safety, your energetic field expands. You become magnetic. Your body says, it's safe to receive now. That's when manifestation becomes instant, not forced, but allowed. There's a secret alliance inside your body that most people never activate. It's the synergy between the heart, the brain, and the breath. And when they align, you unlock a force far greater than thought alone. Greg Braden and the HeartMath Institute call this coherence, a state where your electromagnetic field becomes ordered, powerful, and directive. The heart has its own intelligence. In fact, it sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to it. When your emotions are scattered, your heart rate becomes chaotic, and so does your energetic output. But when you breathe slowly, rhythmically, and with feeling, you stabilize the heart's rhythm. That rhythm entrains the brain, and together they create a signal so coherent it reprograms reality. This trifecta is your quantum command center. The breath calms the system, the heart centers the emotion, the brain focuses the intention. When these three are synced, you enter a zone of manifestation where energy flows unblocked, where the field responds instantly. You're no longer begging the universe, you're broadcasting clarity, and clarity bends reality. Everything in the universe vibrates. This is the first hermetic principle, and so do you. Your frequency is not set by your thoughts alone, but by your nervous system, your emotions, and your breath. That's why mastering your breathing isn't just a wellness hack. It's how you fine-tune your resonance to become a match for what you desire. Certain breathing patterns activate different vibrational states. Rapid, circular breathing can trigger altered states of consciousness, expanding awareness beyond linear time. Slow, diaphragmatic breaths bring deep coherence, tuning your body to the frequency of calm, trust, and receptivity. Breath of fire activates your solar center, your will, your manifesting engine. Each breath pattern is a different frequency dial, tuning your energy like a sacred radio. And here's the magic. Once you learn which frequency corresponds to your desired state, abundance, love, creativity, you can breathe yourself into alignment with it. This is not wishful thinking. This is vibrational mechanics. When your breath tunes your field, the law of vibration kicks in, attracting what matches your frequency. Not through effort, but through energetic precision. The subconscious mind doesn't speak in words. It speaks in states, symbols, and sensations. That's why conscious affirmations alone rarely penetrate it. But the breath bypasses the conscious filter and speaks directly to the subconscious through rhythm, depth, and intention. This is the sacred art of pranic breathwork. When you breathe with full presence, long, slow, deliberate inhales and exhales, you enter a trance-like state. This mirrors the theta brainwave zone, the very state where the subconscious becomes programmable. Breathwork becomes a living affirmation, telling your inner self, this is safe, this is true, this is real, and your subconscious, like fertile soil, begins to accept and integrate your intention. The yogis knew this thousands of years ago. Breath wasn't just spiritual, it was transformational biology. Each breath moved energy, shifted samskaras, broke old patterns stored in the body. Through pranic breathing, the subconscious is not just accessed, it's rewired. You become the architect of your inner world. And when the inner blueprint changes, the outer world must follow. Quantum physics tells us something truly astonishing. Nothing is real until it's observed. This is the observer effect. The act of witnessing collapses a wave of possibilities into a single reality. But here's the esoteric truth they rarely teach. Your state of observation matters just as much as the act itself, and breath determines that state. When you're anxious, fearful, or scattered, your breath is shallow, and so is your awareness. You're not fully present. You're observing life through the lens of survival. But when you breathe deeply, with awareness, you shift into witness consciousness. You become still, alert, non-reactive, and in that stillness, you collapse reality with intentional power, not emotional chaos. Breath creates the space between reaction and creation. It puts you in the eye of the storm, centered while all potentialities swirl around you. And in that sacred pause between inhale and exhale, you choose. You choose what wave collapses into form. This is manifestation at the quantum level, not hoping, not wishing, but observing with authority. Breath is what grants you that authority. Long before science caught up, ancient civilizations revered the breath as divine. The yogis of India saw it as prana, the universal life force that animates all existence. Egyptian mystery schools trained initiates to use breath as a gateway to higher dimensions. Shamans across the Americas used rhythmic breathing to induce visions and shift realities. Breath was never just breath, it was sacred technology. In Kundalini traditions, specific breathwork like Kapalabhati or Anulam Vilom was used to awaken dormant energy, coiling it up the spine like a cosmic serpent. The result, heightened awareness, intuitive downloads, and spontaneous manifestation. In Mayan and Toltec rituals, breath was synchronized with earth rhythms and cosmic alignments. The breath was seen as a cosmic code, unlocking access to hidden timelines. What unites all these traditions is one profound truth. Breath is the original language of the soul. It bypasses dogma. It requires no tools, just presence, rhythm, and intention. When we reclaim these ancient breath rituals, we don't just remember a technique, we remember who we are. We awaken the part of ourselves that was never separate from creation to begin with. At every moment, infinite versions of you exist, living out different timelines, making different choices, embodying different frequencies. This isn't sci-fi, it's the truth behind parallel realities. The question isn't whether they exist. The question is, which one are you breathing into right now? Your breath is your anchor point. Each inhale locks you into a version of reality. Each exhale lets go of another. When paired with clear intention loops, brief, focused thoughts infused with emotion, You create a feedback system that tells the quantum field which timeline you're selecting. It's like choosing a radio station. You don't need to build the music, just tune to its frequency. Here's how it works. Breathe in deeply with the feeling of already having what you desire. Hold that breath, saturating your cells with the emotion. Then exhale, releasing resistance, letting go of the old version of you. Repeat. This cycle becomes a quantum ritual, a signal loop that says, "This is me now." You're not visualizing your future, you're merging with it. Timeline shift. Activated. Manifestation doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a 21-day ritual or a stack of crystals. All you need is 60 seconds, a focused intention, and your breath. This isn't about wishing, it's about entering the frequency where the wish is already fulfilled. Let's break it down into a 1-minute quantum activation. Step 1. Center yourself with 3 deep, rhythmic breaths. Let each inhale expand your belly, and each exhale ground your energy into stillness. Step 2. Bring a single intention to mind, not as a desire, but as a reality. Feel it. Imagine how it would feel now if it were true. Smile, even if it's subtle. Let the body believe. Step 3. With your next inhale, breathe in that reality. Hold the breath for a moment and whisper internally, "This is now." Exhale with gratitude, as if you've just received it. Repeat this cycle for 1 minute. That's it. You're not begging. You're not visualizing from lack. You are entering a vibrational state where what you seek already exists. The breath becomes the ritual, the emotion is the currency, and time becomes irrelevant. The quantum field doesn't need hours. It responds to alignment, and that can happen in a single breath. At the core of every esoteric teaching, there's a simple truth. You are the creator. Not someday, not when you finally master every technique. Now, but the modern mind has been conditioned to forget, to outsource power, to believe manifestation is a reward for being good, spiritual, or patient. It's not. It's a function of alignment, and breath is the bridge that brings you back into it. Each conscious breath is a declaration. I remember who I am. In that remembrance, the illusion of separation dissolves. You no longer see the universe as something outside you. You recognize it as something moving through you, malleable, responsive, intimate, and your breath, it becomes the steering wheel, the interface. The moment you inhale with belief and exhale with trust, creation begins. This isn't about control, it's about coherence, about matching your internal frequency with the version of reality you're ready to receive. The breath doesn't force reality, it invites it. And in that invitation, life rushes in, not as a stranger, but as a mirror. This is the true power of conscious breathing, not just to survive, but to shape, not just to relax, but to awaken. Think about it. From the moment you were born, your first act wasn't to speak, move, or think. It was to breathe. And yet, somewhere along the way, you were convinced that creation had to be earned, that your desires had to be chased, that the universe only listens when you shout loud enough. But the truth, the universe listens when you whisper with your energy, and nothing whispers more clearly than your breath. This isn't a trick, it's a remembrance. That your body is not a prison, it's an instrument. That manifestation isn't some distant dream. It's the most natural thing you do when you stop trying so hard and start aligning your frequency through breath. So the question is no longer, can I manifest this? The question is, am I willing to breathe as if it's already here? And if you are, watch how fast the world shifts. If you felt something awaken inside you today, hit that like button, subscribe, and come breathe with us again, here at the Cosmic Awakening channel.